My mother-in-law demanded I sign a prenup protecting her son's fortune. Then she called me crying when she found out I make 4 times what he does. When Tristan proposed, I said yes without hesitation. We'd been together 3 years, and he was kind, funny, and made me feel seen. The ring was modest. His teacher's salary didn't allow for much, but I loved it because it was from him. 2 weeks later, his mother Diane invited me to lunch. Just us girls, she said. I should have known. She arrived at the restaurant in designer everything, kisses on both cheeks, already ordering wine before I sat down. After small talk about wedding venues, she slid a folder across the table. What's this? I asked. A prenup, she said, smiling like she just offered me a gift. To protect Tristan's assets. I stared at her. Tristan lived in a studio apartment and drove a 15-year-old Honda. His most valuable possession was a first-edition fantasy novel collection worth maybe $800. His assets? I repeated. She leaned forward. Family money. Inheritance. His father and I have worked very hard to build our wealth, and I won't see it squandered by some... She paused. Opportunist. The waiter arrived with our food. I let the silence stretch. Diane, I said carefully. I make my own money. She waved her hand dismissively. Everyone says that. Sign the prenup, or there's no wedding. I smiled, signed nothing, and told Tristan about it that night. He was horrified and promised to talk to her. But Diane kept pushing, calling him daily, sending revised documents, threatening to boycott the wedding. Finally, Tristan sat me down. Maybe we should just sign it, to keep the peace. It doesn't mean anything. It means she thinks I'm after money that doesn't exist, I said. He looked miserable. Please, for me, I loved him, so I signed. Every page felt like swallowing glass. The wedding was beautiful, though Diane spent it telling guests she'd protected her son from gold diggers. I smiled through gritted teeth. 3 months later, I got the promotion. Senior software architect. The salary was $280,000, plus equity. Tristan made $52,000 teaching high school English. I'd been earning well before, but this was different. This was generational wealth different. I didn't tell anyone right away. Just quietly started investing and planning. When Tristan's school needed funding for their arts program, I anonymously donated $50,000. When his car finally died, I bought us a new one. Cash. Nothing flashy, but reliable and safe. Diane noticed the car first. How can you afford this on a teacher's salary? She asked Tristan suspiciously. He tried to explain that I'd received a raise, but she wasn't listening. She called me directly, demanding to see our bank statements, making sure I hadn't stolen from Tristan somehow. That's when I invited her to lunch. My treat. I brought my offer letter, my investment portfolio, and my tax returns. I spread them across the table like a royal flush. She went pale, reading the numbers over and over. Her lips moved silently, calculating. You make... She couldn't finish. 4 times what Tristan makes, I said calmly. And that prenup you forced me to sign? It protects me from him, not the other way around. The realization hit her like a freight train. But you never said. You never asked, I replied. You assumed. You saw a woman marrying your son and decided I must be poor, desperate, or scheming. It never occurred to you that maybe he was the one marrying up. She started crying right there in the restaurant, mascara running, hands shaking. I've ruined everything, she sobbed. You must hate me. I didn't hate her, I pitied her. She'd spent so much time protecting wealth that barely existed. She'd missed who her son actually was. A man so secure in himself, he'd never once asked about my salary, never felt threatened or diminished by my success. Tristan doesn't care that I make more, I said quietly. He's proud of me. That's why I married him. Diane kept apologizing, but I was done. I paid the check with the credit card that had no limit and drove home to my husband, who was grading papers at our kitchen table. How was lunch? He asked. Educational, I said. Last week, Diane asked if I'd hire her financial advisor to help manage her retirement accounts. I recommended mine instead. She's still adjusting to the fact that her daughter-in-law is the wealthiest person in the family. Sometimes Tristan laughs about the prenup, safely filed away in our home office. The document that was supposed to protect him from me actually protects my fortune from him. Not that it matters. We pool everything anyway. That's what marriage is. But Diane doesn't need to know that yet.